Good afternoon. My name is Luke Moore, and for the last 5 years I have been a registrar in infectious diseases and microbiology here at Imperial College London. Through this time I've really developed a marked interest in antibiotic resistance, and specifically the reservoirs of antibiotic resistance in secondary care. I have a particular interest in intensive care and really unwell patients in that setting. In late 2012 I started discussing my areas of particular interest with Professor Alison Holmes here at the National Centre for Infection Prevention and Management, and off the back of some of those discussions and thoughts and reviews of the current literature, we started to get a feel of a potential PhD project for me to undertake. This was quite timely in that in spring 2013 the National Institute of Health Research Imperial Biomedical Research Centre put out a call for varied topics in the area of infection and immunity that might be translatable from a blue sky research setting through to application in the Imperial and North West London area. Professor Holmes and I put together an application for this clinical research training fellowship focusing on antimicrobial resistance and more rapid diagnostics in critical care, and in early March this year, a few months ago now, I was quite happily told that I had won this fellowship through the competitive application process, and I've commenced this fellowship from the 1st of April this year. Over the last few months I've been working very hard actually to try and put together the actual meat on the bones of this project. So we have put in the research proposal to the university. We've been liaising quite closely with our collaborators, specifically Professor David Livermore at Public Health England and University of East Anglia, and Associate Professor Paul Ananth Tambaya at the National University of Singapore. And with these collaborators we've been really now nailing down the project into 3 main themes. The first 2, for the first year or 18 months or so, will run side by side. In the first instance we're going to try and map and model the decision-making process that critical care doctors go through when they prescribe antimicrobials and initiate microbiological investigations, to really get a feel of how we can improve that process, and through a process of stewardship really pin down the way in which intensive care doctors use antibiotics. Theme 2 is a laboratory-based theme where we try and transpose and translate those more rapid microbiology diagnostic modalities of mass spec and whole genome sequencing into a clinical laboratory to provide much more rapid, more real-time results to help critical care doctors make their antibiotic decisions at the bedside. Once those 2 themes have been consolidated, we can then move on to the second half of my PhD project, which will be looking at how we can interrelate the decision-making processes of critical care doctors and the more rapid diagnostics we've developed into something that actually makes a difference. So rolling out these techniques onto actual patient samples sent from actually unwell, admitted patients in intensive care units in North West London, and looking at how antibiotic prescriptions change, how requests for microbiology requests change, and what impact that has on patient outcomes. We're going to be using our collaboration with Associate Professor Tambaya in Singapore to see if this intervention, which we're proposing here in the United Kingdom, is translatable to other healthcare settings, i.e. that of Singapore, see if the way in which Singapore critical care doctors make their decisions can be affected by the work we're doing here in the UK, and so make it really much more generalisable outside of the North West London setting. That's our aim, that's our goal. Perhaps I'll be here again in the future to tell you whether we were successful in that, and like to thank you all very much for spending your time watching this video.